Good evening. What is the crack? There we go. What's the crack? How's the hand? Good evening, everybody. Look at the state of this thing. And watch, look, there's a bit of metal just here. And lads, you know the way the other night I drove with it? Martin, what's the crack? Deadlock, Cuyar, knick-knack. Didn't I fucking damage my GT Neo? And I haven't taken my footage yet. You know my outdoor footage? Like, that's not normal wear and tear. I know some people said about the grips wearing, but like, that's just from this fucking thing. Oh, voice lag. Back in a sec. There we go. Should be back now. And the voice should be in sync. Hello, Isabella. Yeah, look at this. Look at that. Like, that'll look crap on. I hope you guys, yeah, you guys can see it. Definitely you can see it there, right? That was just from driving the, and up here as well around the middle. So my choices now are, I'll probably have to buy a new one because that looks shite on my videos. Not only will it look shite, but it'll be an unfair reflection of the product because that is not normal wear and tear. It's from this thing. It's like, this thing's metal. Like, that is a piece of metal sticking out there. You can kind of see the shape of it, but that is metal. You cannot. I'm trying to press that there. So I have a splint in my hand. For those of you who don't know, I would kill for a wheel that expensive. This one's actually not that bad. Now, expensive is all relative, but this steering wheel costs less than €400, which is not bad. Considering what it is, this is insanely good. Like, compared to, let's just grab this here. That is a, what are these, €1,500? That's a €1,500 steering wheel. So you could buy almost 4 of these for one of these. So GT Neo is a deal breaker. Why is it a deal breaker? I think it's a fantastic piece of kit. For 400 quid, you think they give the top and bottom part with it. Yeah, so I messed up. So I'm gonna probably buy a new one. Pulsomer was the same cost. Yeah, I'm gonna have to probably buy a new one just for the footage and stuff. At least he didn't do a Jardier on the GT Neo. He did swing off that thing, but yeah, he's a big guy. Like, he's bigger than I am. I'm 6 foot tall. Jardier is like 6'4". No, I won't say it in the review because so it's not a fair reflection of the product, and some people have had issues with gloves wearing on it. So I really don't want to say that I had an issue that other people claim that lots of people have. I would rather just buy a new one, use that one, because I've not had any issues there. And it's like metal hitting off it. It just doesn't look good. You'll be 6 foot tall when you're older. Nice. Isabella Game Pro, I can see you, but the chat isn't all about you. Kick people are so needy. So needy. Accidentally drove a metal pin into the wheel. Don't worry about it. All I wanted to do was race. I fucking destroyed it with this. So guys, I'll give you a rundown of what's happening. Actually, I need to change my Twitch status as well, right? Because this is not going to be a driving sim racing stream. This is going to be a talking shite stream, right? So here, just chatting. There we go. Twitch status changed. How long have I been streaming? 4 years now. William O, Flea, McBaggins. So we've got a pretty, we actually have a pretty packed agenda, right? If you want to ask questions, feel free to ask them in the chat. However, I have like a queue of questions that I need to get through because people have been messaging me. So we can get started into those in just a minute. Waiting on the pitch. Even better title for you. I drove a metal pin into my expensive sim racing wheel. Crazy destruction. I am not bot. Everyone on Kick's a bot. Isabella Game Pro, I'm not saying you're a bot. I'm just saying you're a little bit, I don't know. We're skeptical of Kick people. No, you're allowed to disturb me. Absolutely no problem. Can we do a poll on what the Kick bot will be selling? Usually people on Kick, yeah, sound like bots. And so do you, Isabella, with respect. SRC SimSports, exclamation mark SRC in the house. Kickbot. I am seriously considering just dropping Kick because now it is a little bit of fun. Like I like when the Kick bots come into the stream, and I like when they try to sell stuff and they're like, hey, let me have a look at blah blah blah, or I can do graphics for you or something, because that's all I get from Kick, it seems. Here it comes. Isabella, please ask me a question. Yes, you can ask me a question. Pawel, what's the crack? My hand is pretty screwed. There we go. I'm not bot. There we go. Who had I'm not bot? Time to kick them out. Boom. The hand is Keith Logan. What's the crack? Yeah, so the hand is in a splint. There's like a metal piece here on this ping, right? A couple of weeks ago, don't mind this. This was me trying to fix my car on Sunday. I burnt my hand off the exhaust. This is a separate injury. I sound like a clumsy bollocks. I fell, and see that door behind me? That door was open, and I caught the narrow side of the door. My thumb tried to catch my whole body weight. My body kept going. So you're old. Erotic prawns. Isabella, let's hear it. Not a bot, but let's hear it. What are you trying to sell us, Isabella? Lads, I'll be mortified if Isabella is not actually trying to sell me something. What if they're a lifelong fan waiting to happen? Let's have a beer. So tonight we're going to talk about hardware. R.I.P. thumb. Yeah, so I did. Ligaments in my thumb are damaged. Tonight's beer is Birra Moretti. Lovely beer. Absolutely savage. Oh lads, it's even tough to open a bottle. I'll have to do it with the wrong hand. Oh. Wait a minute. Everyone wait a minute. I potato. Let's have a beer. Cheers everyone. 5th gear beer. Let's stick it into 5th gear. Right, so we're going to chat hardware and software and everything sim racing related. So if you have any questions, please give me a shout. I have a list of questions in front of me. What's that noise? Oh, that's my wife coming back from the shop, I think. A list of questions here. I have, as you can see, loads of hardware around. So if there's particular hardware that you want to see, if I still have it here, because I give a lot of it away to people, if I still have it here, I'll gladly show it on stream, compare stuff, whatever you like. The first question came in from Simi, and it was to do with Simagic and Fanatec shifters. There we go. Design service provider. Looking to get some work. Anything I can help you with. Affordable and there it is. Oh man. Stereotypes are like stereotypes are bad, but they're hilariously funny when they're right. So Simi messaged me. He said he has the Fanatec shifter. So here's a Fanatec shifter covered in dust. I didn't clean it for you guys. And the Fanatec shifter is, when it works, one of the best shifters you can buy for your rig. It is really, really good. It has a switch on the side here, on both sides, to switch between H pattern and sequential. It is a really, really good bit of kit. It does tend to break though. Hands up in the chat if you've had one of these break on you. If you've had to open it to try and fix it, or if you just put it in the corner. This one currently broken. They just break. Now it served me well. I think I've got 4 years out of this. Good night, Ignacio. Good night. You fixed 2 of them. Anyone else in the chat had one of these and fixed one, or had to fix it, or had to return it? Because yeah, they do tend to break. Simi asked me, should he, like, what shifter should he go for? He's not going for a Fanatec again. So I have recommended the SimMagic shifter, just to get. How do they break? So there are a lot of different ways. There's one issue that they have is the gear registration. So first and third tend to mess up. That is the main issue that I've had. There is an issue with the sequential spring as well. Still struggling to figure out how to mount your Fanatec shifter along your SimMagic TB1. Yeah. See, that's one of the things that I really like about the SimMagic shifter, or sorry, the Fanatec shifter, is that you can mount the handbrake to the side of it. I love these little slots on the side that you can mount a handbrake straight to the side. No other manufacturer has a better handbrake mounting solution than Fanatec. There, I said it. So the Fanatec handbrake and shifter are a great combo, as long as my Fanatec handbrake, I've gone through 2 of those as well, so they break as well. If Corsair are willing to take some feedback, then I'd say ditch the torsion spring for sequential. It fatigues over time, then snaps. I've not snapped one of those, but I will. Yeah, I haven't used this enough for. So you can see this is a H pattern here, and then we'll put it into neutral, slide this one forward, and now it's a sequential. So I recommend it. Get the SimMagic. Look at the size difference here. Especially apparent when you're like this, the size, you can really tell. This one has a way nicer little footprint. Your RGB is in need of some RGBs. Campto, what's the crack? Cheers for subscribing. This has, so there are a couple of things that I really like about this. One, the VNM does a great job. The VNM is a fantastic shifter. Switching between H pattern and sequential is a bit of a pain in the ass though. So one thing that I don't really like about the Fanatec is, if we just go back into H pattern mode, I find the throw a little bit, I don't know, there's like a sorry, that's off screen. There's like a ball up in the top here, and I find the angle of the, like, this is in first gear now, and I find that angle a little bit extreme. Now, I don't know how well this is going to come across on the thing here. That's in H pattern mode. This can also switch between H and sequential. When we go like this, and you'll be like, that looks exactly the same. But it feels like this lever is longer, so it's like less of a throw. IO logs for sequential. IO logs is pretty small. Absolutely hate the sequential mode. Interesting. So like none of those combo shifters give up like a real proper sequential mode. Like, so I wish I could put the 2 of them side by side. I don't really have the ability with my hands to do both of them here for sequential. So if we just, that's the way the Fanatec goes, and this is the way the SimMagic goes. SimMagic shifter has a smaller footprint. Maybe you can mount them side by side and still be able to get in and out of the rig. Potentially, it is a lot smaller. It's a pretty small footprint, and I found you can probably actually see here. You see where I have the holes that I've used to mount it? Here you can see I've used holes right over here. So I've actually mounted it way offset. So this part has been like completely hanging off the side of my rig with no support under it. I've had one bolt here and one bolt at the other side, and it's been fine. So you can really kind of push it off to the side. Thinking of getting the Fanatec shifter. Don't get me wrong, the Fanatec shifter is a great piece of kit, but it does break over time. So if you are okay with replacing it in 2 years time, or 3 years maybe, then It's like racing llama on kick. What are you trying to sell me, llama? Get out of here with your sales. What, you graphic designer? How's the hand? Didn't know you raced on Tuesday. Camto, man. Look at this. Look at, I did damage, not to my hand. I did damage to my beautiful SimMagic steering wheel. My hand is on like a metal brace, and I've damaged this, and I still haven't finished filming for this review. So I'm gonna have to buy a new one of these with a good grip on it, because the grips aren't interchangeable. Yeah, it sucks, but yeah, this thing just dug into it. I am not bot. What happened then? I fell, and I hyperextended my thumb, and I tore ligaments. And this is from when my car broke down on Sunday. I burnt it on the exhaust. So yeah, I am just one big massive calamity waiting to happen. Next shifter is some magic for sure. Liked that way more when testing at this sim racing expo. Nice one. I feel with the Fanatec the sequential gets sticky. It is a little bit sticky. Now I did find with this one at the start it was a little bit sticky, the sequential. If you crank up the tension a lot, it can be a little bit sticky. Over time it gets less sticky. So if you do get that issue at the start, just power through, and eventually it becomes a little bit less stuck. Ligaments and tendons are a big bit to heal. Yeah, Daniel, it's like, that's why I'm not driving tonight. That's why I'm just talking shite about equipment. Simi, does that kind of answer your question a little bit about my opinions on the Fanatec and the SimMagic? The SimMagic has better mounting options, smaller footprint. It is, I don't know, is it a better looking device? I think they're both pretty good looking. I don't know how interchangeable the knobs are. I haven't even taken this knob off. See, oh, is it interchangeable? Oh no, that's the whole, I don't even know if the knob is interchangeable. Did your car break down? You didn't mention that. Oh god, Kevin Lewis, don't. Lads, just before, like, yeah. So we're at 104 channel members. This is bonkers. The music is like kind of circus music in the background, because this shouldn't be happening to a channel with 20,000 subscribers or 19,500 subscribers. Shouldn't have over 100 paying monthly subscribers. It's our members. It's mad. It's mental. Part of the reason that happens is the likes of Kevin Lewis, William O, Naxalar, a load of you are just nuts. Justin Wellbeloved name sounds familiar. Justin Wellbeloved is the livery king. JW Designs. Oh, you nutcase. You nutcase. Yes, boy. A gifted membership. Cheers, William. How's the man today? What an entrance. Evan Tate in the house. What is the crack? What a... Oh, Martin as well. Mike Cole, what's the crack? You're here for the madness. I'll drink to that. Lads, thank you so much. Thanks so much for the support. It is absolutely bonkers. Love the support. And what about this just chatting stream? You guys are like, I don't know, super engaged. The chat is absolutely hopping. I'm enjoying it. So maybe we should do more of these. I don't know. I don't know. Oh, Jesus Christ, what's happening? Lads. What? Have to be careful making the fist here. Lads, Pingu, Gav, you lunatic. Right, that's it now. We're done now, right? Let's talk about how awesome our racing leagues are. Yeah, if you're into iRacing or AC,
subscriber hype.
Class. Absolutely class. Yeah, iRacing on, hang on, let me get this right. iRacing is Sunday nights. I've done 2 of those races. They are savage crack. Formula Ford 1600s, exclamation mark Discord. Get into Discord, get into our iRacing leagues. And every Wednesday, last night I gate crashed a party. Minis. It was phenomenal fun. It was so much fun. It was class. It was brilliant. Can we have that full song? Yeah, I don't know what that song. Someone needs to go back and Shazam it, because it's one of the Streamlabs. No, sorry, one of the Twitch stream sounds. Oh, lads, I can't keep up with the chat now. Hot tub stream next. No thanks. What else? You have a CSLDD. You could get a Forte bundle with a decent discount. Is it truly such a... Yes. Daniel, the Forte is phenomenal. Like, if I had to choose a... I feel bad calling it mid-range, right? CSLDD is mid-range. Forte is super powerful. The only things I don't like about the Forte, I'm not too fond of the design, but I think the steering... If I had a Forte, I would definitely have the steering wheel, even though I don't think it's the nicest design. And hear me out on that one. The functionality, let me grab it. The functionality of the steering wheel is fantastic. That's why I just want to show it. One moment, please. Oh, actually, I can show you. I've got here. Let me grab some of these. Where's my round? Did I have a round? Oh no, that round wheel. Alex has that one. Whoa. I'll be climbing in and out of this rig. So this is the Forte steering wheel. So if you do have the choice, if you want to get an Asetek steering wheel and you're getting a La Prima base, I do recommend the Forte steering wheel. It's just got like nice lights and stuff. It's got more of these rotary encoders. It's a really nice piece of kit. I've got all the upgrade paddles on it, clutch paddles and everything. This is the Forte. The reason I have the Forte here is because, yeah, it's the steering wheel that I recommend. But check out the grips. So these are the upgrade grips. So I don't know if you've seen these before. Try to get them both in the shot here. So this one has the regular grips. This one has the chunky upgrade grips. While I didn't really like them at the start, these upgraded grips really grew on me, and I love the feel of those now. So I also have a kit from Pineapple Grips to get rid of the orange. So you see the bits here, they're no longer orange on here. They're orange on here. That's what they normally look like. But on this, it's got a little upgrade kit. I've got little button caps on these buttons to make them not. You can kind of see the orange underneath. But yeah, they're thick grips. they're really nice. So I highly recommend the La Prima stuff. They also have the round rim. So Alex has my Forte round rim at the moment, because I'm still reviewing the La Prima, or I haven't finished filming it. So this is the round button box, and you can get like different steering wheels for that. So like this can go on there. You can just swap them out. So the Asetek, aside from having more force feedback, better force feedback, it's a great option. Let me see. Questions. Looking forward to Exocross. Watch the leagues that are awesome. The complete Potato Nation that is unrivaled. Thank you so much, Justin. That is so nice. You still have the La Prima round one to show. Yeah, showed that. The great minds think alike, Alex. Also excited about the SimiCube SC3. Lads, SimiCube SC3, I know they're working on it. I've asked them about it for the last 3 years in a row. I know that I know it's coming. I've not seen anything. I don't know anything about it, but I'm expecting big things because they need to kick Asetek's ass with their next offering. They've got the pedals. They need the wheelbase and steering wheel options, and then they will dominate the top end. Absolutely dominate it, but they have to do it right. Do you have a clue how big the normal and upgraded grips are compared to the V2.5? I'd like them to be a bit thicker. Do you know what you do, Daniel? Do you know Pineapple Grips, Daniel? Go look up pineapple grips and speak to Peter. He will answer everything you need to know, and he has all the upgrade kits for the V2.5. Very affordable. Go check out pineapple grips. Seriously. Apple bottom grips. Boots with the fur. New Ace-Tech packaging comes with blackout parts in the box. Yes, it does. Is it standard or do they have an upgrade kit? I'm not sure, but I know that they did them as well. Could always use tennis racket wrap to make them thicker. Yeah, but if you're spending a couple of €100 on a steering wheel, do you really want to DIY it to make... Nah. What's the crack at, Ham? Just realised, with your hand, you're sim racing. It's Robert Kubica. Standard now. That is pretty cool. I like that. That's pretty cool. So this stream is unreal. Where's my phone? Oh, here's my phone. Splat was mine. Splat is my cat, by the way, for those of you who are not familiar. Simi, if you are still there, or anybody who had questions about the shifters, did I go into enough detail there? If you have any more questions, give me a shout about the Simagic and the Fanatec shifters. The next question I got was from Alex, actually, about button layouts. And I get in private messages, I get this question all the time, like a lot. Let me grab this camera so that I can kind of show this as I'm holding the steering wheel, and we'll just swap to this here. So what do I map and where? Like, because there are a lot of buttons on the steering wheel, right? You're not always using them, and people just ask what do I like in my button layouts. So some of my standard ones that I just always have is I might just switch back to this camera. I always do on the so this is on the right hand side. I do it depends on the sim. Let's talk iRacing, right? So when you click up, that's my relative standings. So my relatives, so I can see who's around me. Click down is for the lap time standings. So see overall whose lap times are fastest. Are the buttons buttony and the switches switchy? I do right for my fuel and left for my tires pit box. Then over here, this one is for up, down, left, and right on the black box menus. Next black box is rotate this to the right. Previous is rotate to the left. And to select, I click it in. Increment is click to the right, and decrement is to the left. How is the arm? It's okay. It's only since I started resting it that I realize how sore it actually is. Yeah, this wheel is really, really nice. Then these ones, generally when I receive a wheel and it already has stickers, I tend to use these the way that they came. So here, this would be the ABS, traction control, and then these, actually I labeled these, I think, and I just made these set so that I could use them for things like A or B or whatever. I also have the bias up here, so there's a nice little thumb scroll wheel here. I use that for my brake bias, so you can kind of change that on the fly. As you're driving, you can just scroll that. Depends, if you're on a track where you adjust your bias regularly, or maybe when you're in the rain or whatever, it's very handy to have a thumb wheel to do that. Any grips that go outwards on the back are great, yes. So this is what you're talking about here. This kind of profile, it looks very like a weapon, and it allows this part of your hand, so in here, it really fills that. So what happens, if I just keep my hand here like that and then just slot the wheel in there, you can see that my hand, in a very natural position, is making great contact with the whole wheel. Now, our friends at Simagic were paying attention to reviewers saying that, because if I am just in a natural position again, that slots in there like that. That is the Simagic GT Neo, the less than €400 wheel, and they've got that lovely notch on the back here as well, and it's really, really good. I could really use the classroom talk. It's one thing they did on the GT Neo also, even if the grips are hard, great ergonomics. Surprised to see that. Amazing comfort, yeah. Really nice. Love that we're talking about gear. Can we talk about racing strat? 100%. 100% Flea, we will. So that's those buttons. Then I tend to, for when I'm racing, I use Discord a lot. So I have push to talk here from my Discord. I use the top left one for my wiper tear off. I use a switch like this or a button here, usually for flashing my lights. Or if I have extra paddles at the top, I use that for flashing my lights. I always tend to put like a camera, like in Assetto Corsa, rotate cameras here, even though I rarely use it. It's really more for when people are over. What else do I do? It depends. ARBs usually on here if I'm using those. Here, engine map. Like, there are so many functions on this. The main reason that it's great to have loads and loads of functions is if you drive lots of cars, your buttons that you need can be where you want them to be. You don't necessarily have to use all of these, but for example, like I said with the bias, some cars you don't care about the bias at all. You might actually just want to map this to your game volume or something, so you can change it around. That cube wheel is a looker. Yeah, it's really nice. The screen is probably slightly on the small side. Like if you compare it to, like, let me grab another steering wheel here. Hop out of the rig. Let's grab this steering wheel. So if we compare that to the Solpec, which has a larger screen, let me grab that cube controls wheel again. So, oh god, this is not good for my hand. But you can see the difference in size of the screens. The larger screen is really nice, and we actually have a question coming up about screens with wheels with screens as well. But this is an amazing bit of kit. Really, really nice. Oh, I just stopped my music with the steering wheel. Funny, just said GT Neo, yeah. Gotta hand it to Lawrence. He's handling this stream single-handedly while strong-arming. Where rally? There's no rally tonight, Peter. I'm too injured, too broken. I'm a wreck of a man. Cube controls F Pro with Simagic Alpha, and DDU is 1000%. What I'd go nice. That cube wheel is a looker. GT Neo 2, probably buying that in the very near future. She's purdy, that's for sure. Do I have an F Pro? I do not have an F Pro. Do still love the FX Pro. What you get for the price? Yes, the FX Pro is good. It has some negatives. Let me grab my FX Pro. This is actually great fun. I'm loving this. Hang on. Let me go get the FX Pro. There we go. God, you kind of forget that you just have to be careful with all this hardware. Like when you have an injured hand, it just kind of highlights how. There we go. Right. So this is the FX Pro. So the FX Pro has a screen on it as well. Some negatives about the FX Pro. I don't mind the grips. They're not too soft, not too hard. I'm not a big fan of the funky switch or the 7-way hat being in the middle here. I just don't really like it. I think that the quick release is quite low on it as well. So the way that it rotates is a little bit odd. I'd like if that quick release was more in the center behind that screen. It's just the way the design is. And the biggest thing is the screens, even though they're pretty decent, the Simagic screens, they are quite limited and not they're not very they're not customizable. But like I'm completely nitpicking. It's an amazing piece of kit. It is really, really good, but it is, yeah, it just has some little things that I would definitely highlight to people. The 7-way hack, the funky switch, is definitely one of them. I think there's a lot of space for thumbs here. It maybe doesn't need to have as much space, and it could have the funky switches here. It could have 2 of them, but it is a lovely piece of kit. Got all the extra paddles and everything on it as well. Starting to think it'd be easier to move the camera compared to other. Yeah, don't like the center funky switch. Have you looked at Reaperware button boxes and screens? Good value for money. I have not. What? Hey Adam, what's the crack? So this is the SimMagic offering, and I said I can't show the SimMagic offering without also showing the Moza. This is the FSR. FSR? Yeah, I think it is the FSR. It is, in my opinion, a nicer steering wheel than the SimMagic. I think it's just, I don't know, I think it's a nicer, maybe a slightly nicer looking wheel. It's got the funky switches where you would expect them. So they're in a really good position here. So as you're driving, you can quite easily access them. It has 2 of them. It has scroll wheels. It doesn't have as many scroll wheels. These buttons are in an amazing position. They're right there where you want them. Yeah, it's all preference for sure. It is all preference. One thing that I really don't like about the Moza product is these funky switches that go like that. They lack any bit of, you know, conviction, because if you compare it to this, like, that clicks nicely. So it's got very clear left and right, whereas this thing just, yeah, wobbles. It's like a PS1 analog controller. Random call sign, what's the crack? We're just Jesus Christ. This is what's, when streamers are not on their own stream, they say some outlandish shit. Random call sign, welcome to the stream. Go check out Random. I mean, Jesus, who doesn't follow Random? If you, like, odds are if you follow my channel, you already follow Random call sign. Actually follow on Instagram. He's doing killer videos on Instagram where you have to decide at the last minute whether to go for the rear of the car or the front of the car, get out of harm's way. And yeah, really, really cool videos. Random call sign on Instagram. So that is a lovely wheel though. Very nice. And one thing that I love, SimMagic used to do it. The only manufacturer that still does it is Moza. I love these buttons. Watch this. Watch the travel on these buttons. Hang on. Let me get it in focus. Yeah. That is just lovely. They're backlit buttons as well. And they're so nice. I just think it's so luxurious. I'm not really a fan of short, clicky buttons, but look, that's what it is. Drinking some already. Sim Racing Den, what's the crack? We're talking hardware here. And we've got some experts in the... Hang on a second. We've got some experts. Sim Racing Den, random call sign. Let's get your opinions. H pattern shifter that also does sequential. What's your recommendation? Well, I have some already, because we already had that question. Random call sign. Random call sign. Trying to keep up with this chat, guys. This chat is nuts. The Moza rim is nice. Like, we are so spoiled in sim racing, because even the stuff that people say, nah, that's trash compared to blah blah blah, that stuff is still amazing. We are at a level, like if you compare it to photography, where a lens, like a €20 lens compared to a €2,000 lens, is like night and day. You can see it. The difference in sim racing, let's put the prices into perspective. €300 lens versus a €3,000 lens, the difference is crazy. Can't recommend, just have one. Fanatec still for you. Lee, the ex-prime minister. Where is did you hear random call sign? Did you hear traction is back? SHH shifter, recommend that as a first shifter, definitely. Yeah, and Colin, what I love about the SHH shifter is you can kick the shit out of it. You can really batter that thing. and it does really, really well. So anybody who's ever used an SHH shifter, yes, it looks like a toy. It looks like it will break. Trust me, I've tried to break mine, and I ended up giving it away. I wasn't using it because I have so many other nice shifters, and it would make someone else really happy. But I kicked the shite out of it. Heard it from Dave. Bought the VNM shifter. Changing is time consuming. Yeah, it's one of the first things I called out with it. Even though it's brilliant, it's especially good in H pattern mode. For the price, Fanatec still pretty decent. Yeah, the caveat that I say to people, the Fanatec isn't going to last you more than 3 years. Generally, some people it lasts 2 years. Some people break it within 2 months. So it's very, very hit and miss. I love the Fanatec. That's what we opened with here. But right now, I guess we don't know the longevity of the SimMagic and stuff, but we know that the Fanatec has clear issues. So yes, the SimMagic, I showed the SimMagic. It's a great bit of kit. The shifter of the guy. Heard great things about SHH customer support. Interesting. I've never used it or never really heard of him. Jack Sawyer, what's the crack? Knew a guy who poured beer mistake into his SHH shifter after trying it still worked. Nice. Class. Stick with your BDH to death. Who wants to see the BDH shifter? Moldy Apper has one. The issue of them is the cable. So there's the cable, but there's also the sequential spring. If you use the sequential spring quite a lot, and that's how we got onto it, because Simi, one of the guys in the community, he's having that issue now, and some people have broken I've broken that functionality. So yeah, you lose all sequential bounce back. Likely going to Magic when mine blows up. Yeah, well, like, enjoy it, because I loved the Fanatec. I mean, even if you look at it, you can see I abused it so much the letters fell out of it. That's how much I used this shifter, but now it's broken. What about the Moza shifter? I'm glad you asked. I just happen to have one here. One moment, please. Getting my exercise here. Oh god, I'm tripping over steering wheels. Let me, as I'm here, let me grab, as we're talking shifters, let me grab this shifter as well.
You have entered the potato zone.
Oh, here we go. Grim Leaper, what's the crack? There goes the wheel. Shifters should go down in price in your opinion. They're a bit pricey. They're complex though. This is the Moza shifter. The Moza H pattern shifter. Also a decent shifter. This is a really good price. Doesn't do sequential. So Lawrence is full of shift. Might be why you only use it in H. Okay, interesting. This is a good shifter, except the amount. So to put it into reverse. So reverse is over here. To put it into reverse, you have to put a little bit of weight on the shifter. The amount of weight you have to put on it is a little bit. It's a little bit light for me. So I was, especially when going from third down into second, I was accidentally, it's very hard to do like this, I was accidentally going into I was going past the little gate here. I'd like if there was a little protector here, or maybe even just if the sleeve on the shaft didn't actually allow you to go in there unless it was properly pressed down. But this is great value, but I would recommend trying one before you buy one if you can, because that issue is a deal breaker for me, unfortunately. And you can't like just use it upside down or whatever, because there's just no gate here, and the slightest, you can see, I don't know if you can see, the slightest bit of weight pushes that down and activates the gate. So I'd have to modify it. You have a Maglink, it's like a shotgun. How loud is the BDH shifter as a sequential? I don't have the new BDH shifter. I only have the old BDH shifter. So even a Maglink, it's like a shotgun. You have Fanatec for 3 years, and the VNM is nicer for heavy H pattern. Yeah, I really like the H pattern on the VNM. If I'm learning one thing from the stream, it's that LD needs to dust his office. Stuff gets dusty. I have too much equipment. That's the problem. First world problems. So this shifter, yeah, it's good value, and it's way better than like a Thrustmaster TH8A or whatever. These are less than 200 euro, I think. They're 180 euro or something. And the build quality of that, and you can see, like, that's nice. You can probably hear that as well. It is a good bit of kit. What's the Eau Rouge seat like? It's brilliant. So much so, if Corbeau, whoever, anybody who makes seats, if they said, we want you to run our seat for a year and we'll give you €1,000, and they gave me a free seat, I'd be like, no, I like my little fans in my seat. So this seat, Eau Rouge, it has fans built into it. So when it gets warm, you can just turn on the fans and it sucks away the warm air, which is just brilliant. It's so good. It's a pricey seat. It's about 700 or 800 euro, but honestly, I wouldn't do without it right now. The one thing that I'd like to do is I'd love to customize my logo into the headrest. I'd love to do that, but Siri, turn on cheek chillers. I love your TH8As, especially with the mods. The mods are good, to be honest. The mods are good. Yeah, and the clickiness there, it's kind of hard to gauge when it's not like tight, attached to a rig. And maybe you could map the reverse all the way over to 7th. See, it's not about where you map it. A lot of people have said that on the videos. It's not about where you map it. It's about the physical gate. So the physical limit for going here. If I don't push down on it, it only goes that far. But the slightest push down allows you to go all the way. I don't know if that was clear to you. So if we just go like this, it stops it. But the slightest bit of push down means you go in there. So when I'm going from 3rd, which is up here, down to 2nd, which is down here, and I do that aggressively, and I have a little bit too much of my hand's weight on here, when I smash it to here where I expect it to stop, it actually goes in here and gets hooked on there, so I never make it into 2nd. So that's my problem. After driving Toyota shifters, everything else is lacking. Paid 700 euro for Sparko and OMP seats. Honestly, Brian, if you're ever in Cork, give me a shout, Brian, because it's surprising. I thought it was a gimmick. They offered me one. I said, yeah, sure, why not? Like, it's a seat and with a gimmick. It's going to be interesting. People will watch the video. And yeah, I wouldn't get rid of it now. And they're not paying me for this at all. They're not a sponsor or whatever. It's just a product that I reviewed. But I've refused seats since this one because the other ones just don't have the features, which is mad when you think about it. Mental. What I also want to show you, because you guys like shifters, is... oh, this one's a big boy. This is the Lebois SRT shifter. Check the shit out of that. This thing is 3D printed. Almost everything in this, like 95% of it, is 3D printed. Obviously the metal's not, but this thing is a monster of a thing. No, this bar is just on mine, and this one he's actually building an upgraded version of it, so that's why I haven't reviewed this. But this has H pattern and sequential. If you have a 3D printer, you can print all the parts for this yourself. One very cool thing that it has in here, can anybody guess what this is? Some of you will know. I don't mind if you say in the chat. Tell people in the chat what this little module, what this little thing is. Looks like, yeah. This looks. I'm just going to replace my arm with this gearbox. Totally forgot about that shifter. He is going to send me the new one. First LD stream you ever saw was testing the Eau Rouge seat. That's cool. That's very... Shaun McGoldrick, you are on the money. On the money. It is a servo, but for what? It's a little RC servo, but why? Why does it have that? Answers in the chat. Why does it have that on there? Look, isn't that like a piece of art? And watch, when you shift... And let me throw it into gear. Ah. How good is that? Martin and Miguel, you guys are on, and Adham, yes, it locks out the shift. So it flicks on, it's mapped to your clutch pedal. So if your clutch isn't pressed, you can't actually put it into gear. You can take it out of gear, you can't actually put it into gear, which is class. It is unreal. So you tell it which what your clutch is, whether it's a button or whether it's a pedal. Usually for most of us it'll be a pedal, and yeah, it's a clutch lockout mechanism. And it's got little button box on here with backlit buttons and an epic Honda style for the Honda heads in the house. Check out that gear knob. How good is that? It's very, very cool. The only thing is, right, so it's very cool. It's a very cool piece of kit. The only thing is you can't buy it anywhere. And that sounds ridiculous, right? I didn't know this until I accepted it for review. This one was made by the guy who makes them, but the guy who designed it, but he doesn't make them. There's a kit on AliExpress that you need to buy. He does make money off that, so he's got like an affiliate link for AliExpress or whatever, and you buy like a load of bits, but you still have to piece it together. How much are the files to print it? I believe they're not expensive. They're either free, or I think they might be free for the older versions anyway. I'm not sure though, Pingu. Not sure. I think Evan has one, doesn't he? Didn't Evan Tate make one? 350 Canadian dollars. Links the kit. Yeah, it's very DIY, but like look at that. Like that is absolute. That looks like metal. Like it is unbelievable. Can you imagine like one person in their bedroom designed all this? And I wish I had more strength in my hand here. And I don't want my fingers to get stuck inside in it. But see that? It is, and I really don't want to send it flying through my monitors either. It is unbelievable. Close to 300 euros. It's unreal. Next project has been chosen. Honestly, people who come up with stuff like this deserve money. Mav, you legend. Sneaky boost to get super on the road.
Mav underscore Nick donated €1. Sneaky boost to get super on road.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I would pay for something with these features. I would easily pay €600. I would, and I would probably own this at €600. The Magic shifter is 500. This, like the feel of this shift is incredible. Can you guys hear that? Like the feel of this shift is, dare I say it? The feel of this shift is closer to the BDH shifter than it is to the Fanatec or even the Magic shifter. It really, it feels like it's doing work because, oh yeah, this is a good way to show the shift. See the insides moving? It's because it is doing work. You're doing real work. See it rotating and everything? It is incredible stuff. So you're doing real work. It totally shits on the Magic. What about the Pokorny? I've never. Do you know what? I'm not a big DIYer. Like I didn't print this. I don't even have a 3D printer. So yeah, I don't have it. Next project chosen. Play with the clutch and the shifter while not driving. Will I activate the servo if not in game? Good question. I don't actually know. I think it's a SimHub plugin, so I think you need to have SimHub running for it to block out your gears. If you don't have SimHub running, it won't block out your gears. That thing is badass. It is very, very badass. He's sending me the new version. I am going to review that. So yeah, it's kind of, there's some stuff that I've kind of been working with companies on, and yeah, stuff gets delayed, but like I'm having fun. A bit extreme for sim racing. Lies random call sign. I know. Like what I love about Random Call Signs channel is, so you're a big advocate, and correct me if I'm wrong here, Random. You're a big advocate for not spending crazy amounts. You appreciate nice things, but you know that you don't need them. And I think that sends a very good message out to people. I guess when I started the channel, I was already the demographic that spends money like terribly. I like buying stupid expensive shit. I like things that are shiny, things with lights. I like that. It makes me happy. So you guys have probably heard my thing of there are two hobbies. One is racing, the other is collecting hardware. I think that you need, you can get a lot from fairly average hardware and it complements your racing and you get a lovely harmony, lovely balance. There are many people who don't race who just have lovely hardware. There are many people with crap hardware who just race. So there are two very distinct hobbies, I think. Be bougie. It is nice to have nice things. It just is. That's just the way it is. Yeah, that's just the way it is. Got a new printer. Good excuse to print even more. Well, Martin, I would recommend anybody who is like, especially if you're like unemployed, I would recommend highly to just start like building and selling those shifters, because it seems like you're allowed to do it, but nobody's doing it. So, I mean, there's a lot of labor in it. Maybe that's it. Maybe you just can't get money from doing it. I don't know. Getting to a time in life where I simplify things. Nice. Ooh, what sequential shifter would I recommend as my number one? That's a tough one. That is a very tough one. And I'm actually like working on a video for it. I wasn't expecting it to be as good, but I recently got the housing felt. So here, the housing felt shifter, and that is really nice. It is very nice. Let me grab some other ones though. Hold please. God, I'm gonna trip over shit. Hold please. Make some space and grab some sequential shifters. Sequential. Maybe put some handbrakes there, because you guys will be probably asking me about handbrakes in a while. What other sequentials have I? Oh yeah. There we go, that'll do for now. Is that all my Hang on a second. Hang on a second. I have some more. Okay, you guys asked for it. Let's get some clickety-clackety sequentials going. Don't give me new 3D printer projects. I have a backlog already. If there was as much enthusiasm for league racing as there is for sim hardware, then PN would have fucking broadcast deal. Have I tried the Direct Force Pro? I have not. I've reviewed a similar one, the Simplicity SW20, but the software is not, it's not the same thing. Oops. Let me put this camera here where it's supposed to be. Looking into the GT Neo, last wheel you bought was 3 years ago, gives you an excuse. Nice. The most expensive Easter hunt. Tunes are nice. Excellent. Like it. Okay, so what did you ask about? Sequentials. Oh god, this is gonna be messy. Right. Sequentials. This is the Mecha. I said I'd show this one first, as I can't even get it to... God. I can't even, like... It's like an incredible yoke. I can't... No, it's too hard to do this. That is the Mecha. It's very good. It's the... I kind of wish it had the electronics built in, but it has like an external module here. 1 hour clean. Yeah, Mecha don't sell anymore. That's why I started with Mecha. It is yeah, unfortunate. 100 desk mounts for Elgato Stream Deck. Yeah. Definitely under desk mounts. If that's one of the things that I would definitely do if I had one. This is a great sequential shifter. This is the SG Racing, and it's very, very cool. It's got like a neutral switch here as well. Peter McCann, what's the crack? Clicky noises. The noise, so it's balance, right? The mechanism, a real shifter makes a lot of noise. You don't hear it because the engine is going. If the car is off, you hear that it makes lots of noise. You hear it clunking into gear. Part of that feeling is that click. So it's a trade-off between the noise that it makes and how immersive it is. So does that kind of answer your question a little bit, Nick? MMA make the very best sequential shifter you can buy. Evan Tate makes the best one you can DIY. If possible in the future, I want to do a buy once, cry once upgrade from the DFGT. The VRS looks pretty enticing. That's where you asked about it. You can message VRS, ask them if they're interested in sending me one. I don't generally ask for products or whatever. The most quiet. So we'll go through them. You guys got a little bit of a sense. So that one's actually relatively quiet, right? And it has a good feel. So if quietness, this one so far out of the ones we've looked at is the best for quietness. The housing felt is not as quiet. That one, the SG Racing, is quite quiet. This one I particularly like, right? This is the SimMagic. It's got a little screen on it. It's got buttons on it. But what I really like about it and how I used to use this, so that makes a lot of noise, right? But when I wanted it to be quiet, I just loosened this out and it makes way, way less noise. So I could make it as noisy as I want. So this is nice and quiet. And this for me is like the perfect, I can just adjust the resistance by hand. If I just tighten that up a bit, there we go. Can you guys hear that? It's loud as shit now. But that's it is a lovely immersive feeling. So, hey ScubaDrunk, what's the crack? So, yeah, that one is definitely high up on my list. The SimMagic. It's kind of one of the forgotten sequentials. I've got a couple here that, here, let me show this one. This is the VNM. I still haven't done my first impressions on this. I haven't had it on the rig. But this is, you can hear quite loud, quite a metallic sound, but that is a very authentic feel as well. So it is quite nice. It's a nice shifter as well. Isn't the SimMagic combo way quiet in sequential? Here, let me grab that for you. The SimMagic sequential, it's in sequential mode. Yeah, it's not that loud. It's definitely not that loud. That's I can't even. Yeah, the DS8X is quiet. We all have headphones. Just the rest of the rest of the house is the problem. Now, one that I want to show as well that I also haven't finished my first impressions on is the new Moza sequential, which also, but it's quite clicky. But that click doesn't really travel, so you wouldn't really hear that as much in the next room. This one is, I think, the most affordable out of the bunch, and it's a very nice looking shifter. Look at that, and it's got buttons on it. Very fancy. A little neutral thingy on it as well. Best H pattern. God, you're gonna make me get up again. The most satisfying H pattern that there is has to be, lads, I have to show you the floor here. This is just fucking nuts. Hang on. Oh, lads. Are you ready? This is the floor as a result of this video. And it's not even anywhere near done because I still have loads of shit up there and shit all the way over here. But yeah, that's That's what I'm working with. Anyway. Best H pattern. Wow. I have to be so careful not to bash one of these through my screens. And that's, so we give away hardware to real, you know the way we sponsor 8 real race cars? I've given away hardware to each one of those, almost each one of them. Some of them didn't want hardware, they already had great hardware. So that's how I'm managing to like reduce the amount of space that it takes. Seeing that makes you want to sell everything. Well, so just a caveat, all this stuff, I really have it for this kind of side-by-side references. As soon as it gets replaced, I pretty much give it away. I never sell any of this stuff. So I want it to be very clear to people that I don't use this stuff for, even though I use it and I enjoy it, I definitely get value out of that. But I don't sell it for money. I don't sell it for profit. I might give it away for charity, so people will raise some money for charity. I'll give whatever the piece of hardware that does something good, but I don't like use it for money that goes in my pocket. I just want that to be super clear to people. It's like I could definitely sell all this stuff and make a shit ton of money, but that's not my game. You guys asked for the best H pattern shifter. It has to be the BDH Bazooka. This thing is bonkers. Like, I don't even, hang on, let me get the secondary camera up here. Just a sec. Here we go. So, God. So this like feels very like a Mazda MX-5 gearbox. It's a lovely short throw. It's absolutely excellent. I love it. I really, this thing is so nice. There's a reason you see this on lots and lots of high-end rigs. We gave away multiples. People haven't received them yet though, but I am in talks with BDH. It is pretty quiet. It's actually it's really not bad. It doesn't make a lot of noise. Sequential tends to make more noise than a H pattern, but yeah, it doesn't make a lot of noise. Yeah, they're expensive. Absolutely love it. Yeah, Shaun, 100%. They're like, yeah, this is you would love this, Shaun. It is really good. Yeah, we give most of, it's funny, so much of this hardware that I've shown you tonight, we've actually given away multiples of on the channel. How nuts is that? We have, to date, since this channel went live, including the hardware that we've given to real race car drivers, I think we've given away 55-60 grand worth of equipment to people. How insane is that in 4 years with 20,000 subscribers? How insane is that? We should be very proud of that, guys. That is nuts when you think about it. Nuts. I should really just do the maths on it. Some real legend faces over there. Without getting out of your seat again, V&M light pedals, P1000 or P2000. For me, the P2000 were the... See, none of them are bad, Greg. They're all very good. So, it's tough. It's a really tough one. The P1000s and P2000s have the haptic add-on. Haptic add-on is like a cheat code, but there's no reason you can't retrofit it to another pedal set as well. If I had to choose, I would probably, if I was going for road car driving, I would probably go for the P1000s. Is that fair to say? God, I don't even know. It's very hard to compare them. It's very hard. The throttle on the P2000s is the best out of the three of them. The brake, P2000s, and the clutch. The clutch probably the P1000s. So yeah, P2000s win it, Greg. That's simplistic. Base plate, P1000 wins it. Aesthetics, P1000. Customizability of the brake. You could probably get more different feelings with the V&M. I don't know. It's a minefield. It's a minefield. What do you think is the best bang for buck handbrake that could be used on a wheel stand? Let me tell you. Here it is. This is it. And I'm pretty sure you can use this on a wheel stand. Absolutely no problem. The Moza handbrake. It is really, really good. I think I've got the heavier elastomer in that. But this is effectively like an eBay handbrake. It's relatively cheap. I think it's 130 euro, 140 euro. And it's a good bit of kit. USB, standalone, you don't need to be in the Moza ecosystem. So if you're on PC, it is well worth it. As if... Oh, here we go. Yes, boy, Chris Baker. Oh, gifted subs. Here we go. Kev Lewis, you absolute lunatic. You lunatic. P1000, because they could basically be turned into P2000s with the throttle dampener and hydraulic mods. There are mods for the P1000 for sure. It's a tough one. I need to see the 3 pedals. No, I'm not bringing out pedals. Ross Stewart. Yes, boy. Absolutely class. Ross Stewart. Oh my god, we got 3 more coming. 3 more coming. Who's next? The Long Lad. What a name. What a brilliant name. Kevin, you are nuts, man. You are nuts. I've lost my train of questions here. The Long Lad. Mystery guy, does that answer your question about which handbrake to get? I think it should. What else have we got here? 107 out of 105 was annoying, yeah. John Baylor John. Baylor John. What a Baylor John? What a name. It's an awesome name. Lads belong sometimes. Motion. I am not a huge fan of motion. Has to be said, right? I have never owned a motion system. I've owned motion seat movers, and they were fine. Ragnar Odinson, lads, loving the new names. Make sure you subscribe. Class. Yeah, the reason I ditched my seat movers, so I had the next level motion one, next level racing motion. There was a little bit of flex in that, so when I was hitting a very hard brake, I run my brake quite hard. So when I was hitting that, it was like it was flexing a bit, and I just didn't like that. Then I had the NJ motion, and for some reason I had loads of software issues with that. The software was just old school, and I didn't like it. So my motion experience hasn't been great. And any motion systems that I generally use when I'm at like trade shows and stuff, they're very wobbly. So as you're going down the straight, you tend to get like, if you go like this, you tend to get thrown, and it has an input on your steering. So as you try to straighten up the wheel, it tends to like bounce you around a little bit, and I just don't like that. It's not natural, and it's always trying to catch up with what the game is actually doing. So while the game is actually like doing something, as in you hit a curb, there's a slight latency before the system will be able to not only know about it but also translate it to you. So it's always slightly behind. So when really fast things happen, it can be a bit wobbly, if that makes sense. Now, what I would do if I had a motion system here, I would set it to move like 5 mils, like a centimeter at most. That's all you're getting, and it would be aggressive, and it would just give that indication of that you're doing stuff. It might move slowly over time, as in if you're going over a crest, it might use some of that range then. But as time goes on, it would just go back to a very, very small range. And I think that's where the secret is with motion, is tiny amounts of movement. Nice one, Nax. Yeah, it wasn't tuned properly. That's what I don't notice any lag. I'd say I've used more than 20 motion systems. Each one of them has some lag that I've noticed. D-Box, the best closest to real suspension, not as exaggerated as some others. Yeah, it depends on settings. Same with force feedback on a wheelbase. The settings are so important, and even what's nice for one person might not be nice for another. It might work great in one car, not in another. So, yeah. Thinking of a 150mm stroke system, greatly reduced throw for racing, much more for flight simming. Yeah, for flight simming, I'd say it's really nice. Shaun, absolutely no, that's not a worry. Not a worry. With SimHub these days, they're so fast. It's so on the ball. It's exactly in sync with what's up on your screen. That's not anything to worry about. They're so fast. USB is quick. They get loads of power these days. It was an issue at some stage in the early days of dashes, but no, these days anything that is SimHub powered, you can pretty much guarantee it will get all the information it needs exactly when it needs it. If you watch any of my videos where I review them, you might be able to see in the background like the actual HUD of that's the in-game HUD, and you'll see the gear changes are all perfectly in sync. Have you tried ambient? Yes, I have. I actually have. So if you check out here, if I go here to secondary, if you check out the roof or the ceiling light here, that is an ambient light. And I also have, you can kind of see it there, I also have ambient lights here and there. So I can tune those so that when I'm driving at night or whatever, the whole room goes dark, and when I go under lights, it'll just like project light on me. So I have it all set up here. I don't use it on my streams because I like this blue black light, because yeah, I just like the kind of the ambience or the vibe or whatever on the stream. I like this color, blinded by the light. Would love for you to look at the Sigma DK2 Plus fast response. I would definitely like to in the future. I don't have the space for it. That's probably my biggest thing. That's why I don't really do like rig reviews and stuff as well. Philips Hue is expensive, but is the one thing you've absolutely no problems with. I need to get through the questions, guys, because I see the time is pushing on and I got a load of questions. Joe, I'm okay, thank you. Yet another Kick person trying to sell stuff. I'm yet to meet someone on Kick who's a genuine sub. Is a screen on a wheel worth it? Great question. Govey is a good alternative. It's Chris asked, is a screen on a wheel worth it? So if we look at a wheel like this, if you are in a formula seating position, so where you're quite low down and you're looking at the screen like over your steering wheel and it's like in front of you, a screen on the steering wheel is much better than having a separate DDU, a separate dash. If you just do GT racing, or if you sit in a GT position, I much prefer a standalone dash, one that's not built into your screen. The thing is, this looks so impressive. Like, this looks a lot more impressive than, for example, this. This is nice, but if it had its like, it just looks nice, doesn't it? Having a screen just looks nice. So I don't know. Mute Kick. Yeah, I'm gonna stop streaming to Kick. So is a DDU worth it? A DDU is definitely worth it. In your steering wheel, it's kind of like having a nice watch. If you, the analogy that I always give people is, if you point at a sim rig, imagine there's a fully built sim rig and you point at it, and you were to pick one point on the rig that you're pointing at, it's going to be the steering wheel. The steering wheel is the status symbol of any rig. Tonight's beer of choice is the Bira Moretti. I'm going through it slowly. I'm doing too much talking shite. Revved up, what's the crack? I'm struggling to keep up with the chat tonight. Chat is absolutely hopping. So the long answer, short answer, if you're, unless you really want the status of having a steering wheel with a screen in it, don't. Buy a separate screen and wheel. And I actually recommend, let's get another steering wheel here. Just a sec. Show you, I'm a steering wheel, an absolute whore for the steering wheels. So let me grab this one, and I will stop in a second. I will stop. Let me grab this one, and let me grab one of my favorites ever. Ugh. Over here, this one. All right, it's about to get tasty up in here, guys. It's about to get very, very tasty up in here. So, just sticking with wheels without screens. My favorite wheel without a screen ever is the Grid MPX. This thing lights up like nobody's business. The buttons are amazing. The shifters are really nice and quiet. But this, like, is just, it's phenomenal. It actually doesn't photograph that well. It is incredible. It is a lovely, lovely steering wheel. The 7-way hats are up here, so you've got access to them all the time, and it is gorgeous. Go watch my review of that. Absolutely gorgeous. Now, as we're talking about steering wheels, the best steering wheel, which is, you can say it's out of date right now. So you guys liked the cube controls. That's the main reason I'm showing this one now. You guys like the cube controls. Check out this one. I don't know, some of you will have forgotten that this one exists. This is the original Cube Controls GTX. This is not SimHub compatible, but this was beautiful. And the reason I wanted to show this one is this is a really nice compromise between having a screen on a wheel or having a separate one, because if you see where the center of the wheel is, when this rotates, that screen is actually quite high. As in, if you were running an extra screen mounted onto your wheelbase, you probably would barely see it because this is quite big. If you imagine if this was a round wheel, it takes up quite a lot of space. This is the best wheel. The best wheel that I don't use anymore, because it requires separate software, Ultimate Game Tech, and that was bought by Asetek, and I don't even have it installed anymore. It's a bit of a shame, but that is a beautiful, beautiful wheel. Yeah, I think it's lovely. I think it's super impressive looking. I like it. And here, final steering wheel for the night, unless there are specific requests for something that I haven't shown yet. I'm gonna have to show you the ground again in a little while. This, the GSI GT Max 32, is an absolute monster. I just wish it was fully round. If this was fully round, it would be even better. But it's great for rally cross, where you don't necessarily need to let go of the steering wheel, or for rally cars with very limited rotation. This is absolutely gorgeous. It's got 3 7-way hats. It's got one here, one up here, and one there. It is an absolute monster. Fully SimHub compatible as well. It's gorgeous. Best wheel-free EA WRC. It depends on your wheelbase, to be honest. But there are lots of wheelbase manufacturers that do good round rims. Moza does good round rims. They're a little bit heavy for the smaller ones. Simagic has no problem with its round rims. For the Simagic, I recommend the GT Pro button box with a round rim. Absolutely savage on any of the Simagic wheelbases. Asetek has their round button boxes. If you like that ecosystem, it's good for rally as well. Not a fan of the very not round, but somewhat round style. Magic Round GT Pro. Yeah, the GT Pro button box is amazing. Diesel, 16 months. Legend.
Diesel99 is celebrating 16 months as a supporter.
Legend.
Monthly subscription renewal. What's the crack? Ludasos Muscle Date Ludasos PN.
Legend. GSI isn't DNR compatible. I don't know DNR profiles for, so that's Daniel Newman Racing. I don't know DNR profiles for GSI. I didn't know that. Sorry for the absolute monster of a sentence. it was a bit of a mouthful, but that is a beast. Look at the carbon fiber weave. The whole steering wheel is one piece of carbon fiber. All the way down, the grips are made around the carbon fiber. It is glorious. Even where you think it's connected at the bottom here, it's not. That's all one piece. It is stunning. Absolutely stunning. Simrig SR1, one of the cheapest motion actuator systems you can get. So I hope that answers the question about the screen on a wheel. Let's go for the next question. Do you think that a DDU is a must? No, it's not. A DDU is a dash, like a heads-up display. So standalone DDU would be something like, do I have one handy here? Something like this. So a dash like that you hook up, that you would put on a mount here, and you can see it either through your steering wheel or over your steering wheel. And the question was from It's Chris, is it a must? It is definitely not a must, but it adds incredibly to your immersion. Not only the stuff that appears on the screen, but the number one reason, this is very important, people don't know it. Number one reason why I think a DDU is a great investment. It doesn't have to be a fancy one like this. It can be a smartphone with a power cable hanging off the side of it, and that will work with sim hubs. If you have an old smartphone and some way to mount it, the reason that I think it's great is because all of a sudden the information that used to be there and maybe half off your screen is now in proportion to your steering wheel. It also brings the cockpit from a 2D surface in front of you. It gives it a little bit of depth. So the immersion that you achieve by having a DDU is absolutely incredible. It just brings you a little bit more into the world of the car. It's a phenomenal feeling, especially when you get used to it. I use a lot of different hardware, and when I get rid of a DDU, one of these displays, I miss it a lot, and I would take this over a screen in a wheel any day of the week if budget was my concern. Definitely something like this is the best way to spend money. So let me just put that over here somewhere. God. Right, next question. We're nearly there, guys. We're nearly there with the questions. This is unreal though. This is a brilliant stream. I love this. This is good crack. What would be the ideal Newton meters for a buy once, cry once? 18 Newton meters or go 23, 27 and call it a day? It's all relative. I would say there is absolutely no point in the world of going over 18 Newton meters. I just don't think there's any point in doing it. Even 18 Newton meters, there are people who have owned both 12 and 18 and 15, and they're like, no, 15 is the golden. Then people say 12 is the golden. After 18, you're really seeing diminishing returns. The amount that you get for your money is very, very small. Always buy what you can afford. If you're doing buy once, cry once, and that term is important here. Have you ever hurt your hand? Oh, Adam. 18 is a monstrous amount. Yeah, definitely. You're 20. Yeah, you never go above 13. Yeah, and it's not just the power; it's how it delivers it as well. It's the quality of the motor. It's the amount of power. the way I describe it to people, imagine, so this is a 21 Newton meter wheelbase. Why would you want that? Imagine you're driving at 200 kilometers an hour and there's like a stone on the road. Let's say a stone that size, and you drive over it. You feel a tremendous jolt through your steering wheel, right? In real life, it would be like the shock tower is coming up through the bonnet, right? Bang! You feel a huge bang. But if you look at the steering wheel when that bang happens, it actually barely moves. It's a tiny, tiny jolt. It's not going to break your fingers or whatever. The amount of force that's needed to accurately bring that feeling across is huge. So the difference in that feeling, and it could be a curb, it could be impact with another car. It doesn't have to be, you know, send your wheel into fidget spinner mode. It's just a tiny little movement, but it comes with incredible power. That adds to immersion. It gives you the impression of detail and power. That's why power is a huge factor, even though most of the time you're not using that power. I hope that makes sense to people. Sending you a DM right now. Fanatec CSL-DD versus Moza R5. CSL-DD with the upgrade kit all day long, no question. Final answer. Your M10 is starting to feel long in the tooth. M10's great. I would worry, only do it if you have money lying around, Naxalar. And I appreciate my audience here. I know that at times you have money lying around. So it is great to upgrade. You will get a nicer feeling. I would say from the M10, go at least for this like Simagic Alpha or the Alpha U. It is a nice upgrade, but only do it if you can really afford it, because for someone who's putting their life savings into that upgrade, they might be a little bit disappointed, because once you get into direct drive, it's very much diminishing returns. But if you want it, oh yeah, and I meant to say that about the when you go like 18 Newton meters is the kind of the peak. Once you go, if you go for 18 Newton meters and a 23 exists, you might always think to yourself, oh, but what does the 23 feel like? So kind of go for the best one, or the not even best, the most powerful one you can afford, just so that you can get rid of the itch. You may not use it any differently to the one that's lower down, but you'll know that you have the best of the best at your disposal. And you won't think, oh, what if this, what if that? Because the truth is, most of the time, if people are lacking something in their wheelbase, it's a settings thing. Alpha Mini versus Alpha. Find your GTDD Pro to be too weak. If you're going from the CSL-DD or the GTDD Pro, I would go for the Alpha, Martin, to be honest. The Mini is good. It is a lot more powerful than the CSL-DD, but if you can afford the Alpha, go for the Alpha, for sure. What else have we got? DDU 10.7 GT Neo. Oh, lads. What are you doing? What are you doing? Oh my god, you're nuts. You're nuts. If you have the money, go Naxalar, you're nuts, man. Run the Simagic Alpha, maybe 50-60 of its max output. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Take a bath. Always itchy. George J28. Lads, I'm gonna need a bigger sponsor graphic. A great time to give a shout out to SRC. Exclamation mark SRC in the chat. Go check them out, especially if you're in the States. If you're buying high-end hardware, Asetek, GSI and stuff, check out simracecity.com. We've got a promo code as well. Potato Nation gets you 5% off at the checkout. So if you are in the States, please go check them out. Ogre! Everybody go check out simracecity.com, even if you're not in the States. Kales, hello from Alton Park. Good evening, Kales. We're having a crazy stream here with people firing memberships. The membership graphic is already nuts. It's going to get even more nuts because there are more gifted subs here tonight, and it's going completely bonkers. People are mental. I can't even keep up with the chat here. Motorsports videos. Can't even keep up. I can't keep up. I have a scroll bar. So I have a scroll bar so I can see back the chat here, which is great. I use that for a rally. Kales Cole is over in Alton Park right now. She is racing this weekend. Everybody in the chat, give her the best of luck, please. Best of luck to Kales Cole. What else? Have a mini, love it. Wish you'd gone with the Alpha to start. Next base. Marc Hannay. Ah, lads. Ah, lads. Kevin Lewis and William Moore at it again. For feck's sake. Another 5 gifted subs from Kevin Lewis coming in. Incoming. And then another 5 from William O. Lads. Rocky Mountain 7. Welcome. Jesus Christ. Oh, lads. Lads, come on. Coach Dave Academy for all your iRacing and ACC setups. Sim staff for sim staffing events, so for expos, for on-site activations, sim staff, even if you're looking to do some work in the sim racing space. Damian Leonard. Nice one, Martin. So Kevin Lewis is bring us up to 123. And William O brings us up to 128. That's, you're bonkers, lads. You're bonkers. Lads. You're nuts. You're absolutely feckin' nuts. 128. That is bonkers. Bonkers. Right. Let me get you. And Air, the broadband provider. Naxalar, I thought you were going. You said you were going. Marc has become a PayPay donation supporter. All lads. All lads. What is happening? What is happening? The super getting funded. Lads, what is happening? Honestly, like, this is fairly feckin' mind-blowing. Mind-blowing. John Pardo. This is the last of Kevin Lewis's. You're nuts. You're nuts. Do I do coaching for sim racing? I do not. I don't have the time for it, but there are some great coaches out there. So I do come into the Discord, ! Discord. There are even coaches in there who do a little bit of free coaching. But need to do a new. I need to change this tune because it's it's meant to be a huge celebration. It's a huge celebration, and I want to make a fanfare when people go to the effort, right? And then we see this happening. It's just it's mental. It's mental. Oh, for feck's sake. Kevin Lewis, what have you done? I'm gonna have to mute it. I'd say people are gonna like stop watching. Lads, honestly, all because I made shit on my hand. Is this a sympathy thing? Are you just taking pity on me? Maybe I should not drive more often. Has anybody got more sim racing questions? Or are we just go Sprinkle Enjoyer? This is unreal. Unreal. Nick. I'm gonna have to turn off the sound. I'm gonna have to. Hang on. I'm gonna have to turn off the sound. This is too much. You're nuts. I can't. People will leave. Hang on, let me log in. It drives so bad. Well, log in before we have to listen to it again. Kevin Bird, Jesus lads. Tim T, like I don't think I don't think I deserve it at all. Which tune was it? This previous tune? Is this the one you were talking about? Oh my god, Shane Robinson, lads, come on. Widgets. Where are my widgets? Alert box. Must get rid of YouTube members. Oh my god. Oh, it's doubling up. It's doubling up. Ah! What's going on? How the hell?
You have entered the potato.
Remember. Oh, that's a test. That's not what I want to do. Oh my god. I'm dying here. What the hell is going on? What the hell's going on? Hang on. Save settings. What is going on? Right, I think this is the last one. Is it? Who's that? I don't know why I need one. Who the hell? I don't know why I need one. That's Naxalar. Oh, Jesus Christ. Oh, Jesus Christ. Lads, okay, it's muted now. It's muted. Achievement unlocked. This is officially the most members we've ever had, channel members. This is, lads. Was this the tune you were talking about, Nick? I can get you the name of this. Hang on. Now that we can hear ourselves think. Adrian Garnham, thank you so much. Here. This is called Runaway by STRLGHT. Runaway. By Starlight, without any vowels. Lads, I don't deserve it. Like, honestly, all shit aside, I don't deserve it. I turn on the camera, I do it somewhat consistently. I don't deserve it. It's trying to say something that doesn't sound like a cheesy, corny, you know, I don't feel like I deserve it. Finally hear something other than that tune. It's all good. Drink less beer next week. You're nuts. Just to give ye, it doesn't matter. It's fun. Thanks so much. If you didn't, you wouldn't contribute. Thank you so much, Nax. Holy Christmas, that was unbelievable. It is savage. Neil Forbes. Let me see who's this. This Neil Forbes belong to. Hang on. Oh, we're still on Naxalar's ones. There's one more of Naxalar's coming. These are still from 7 minutes ago, guys. So we're getting through them. And I'm gonna stay here until they're done. You guys can go if you want. But we're still talking sim racing hardware. At least now we can hear ourselves think. Thank you all so much. Got closed captioning. Rudy, Jeff with the sub. Cheers. Thanks a million. And then we've got Kevin Lewis with another 5. Jacob Nielsen. You're nuts. See, that is lag. Class. It's unreal. Lucas, or what else do you want to go? No, guys. About equipment. Do you want to see the equipment on the floor again after I pulled more equipment out? Answer in the chat. Do you want to see all the equipment that I've thrown on the ground? Best wheelbase and pedals bundle. Best is so relative, and I don't want to dodge the question because I will answer the question. It depends if you have money. Like, how much money? If we're talking budget pedals, Fanatec, CSL Elite V2 pedals, absolutely class. 300 quid. You won't find anything like them for 300 quid. Brilliant, brilliant purchase. CSL DD is a good purchase. Keeps you in the same ecosystem. Allows you to upgrade. It's not as good quality as a lot of other stuff. When you're in the 5 to 8 Newton meter range, the Moza R5, Moza R9, well worth a look. All these members can each request an accent. No. What do I think of Fanatec being taken over? I think it is really shit for the CEO of Fanatec, honestly. From what little I know, it seems like their company was just completely bullied out, made to look weak, bought at a low price, and it's just going to inflate again. It was, yeah, I don't like it. I don't like what's going on. Something shady's gone on. I don't know both sides of the story, but yeah. Dusty Art became a member. So hopefully that kind of answers that. Shuey, no, definitely not. What happened to Mecca? Yeah, it's a pity. Mecca are based in Ukraine, so the war has affected them basically. To the best of my knowledge, nobody's hurt, thankfully, but their suppliers and stuff, it's just gotten really, really, really complicated. Show the poster, he says. Show the poster. Here we go. For the mini madness. AC League info. Get into our Discord as well, by the way, guys. ! Discord, all you people on the chat right now. That's the gifted subs. Naxalar, Kevin Lewis, William O. You're nuts. SHH Shifter is class. We spoke about it earlier. Gary Westwood. It is really good. You can kick the shit out of it. It is just a little bit of a toy. Under €700, I would look at the CSL DD and the CSL Elite V2 pedals. I think that's you can probably get them around the €700 mark. Let's Granddad Sim Racing. Lads, my sponsorship graphic is going to go to shite. Like, how am I supposed to fit 148 names on this? Mental. And I need to keep an eye on this now because, yeah, all is good. VRS pedals, I haven't reviewed them. I've only heard great things though. I've only heard amazing things. Naxalar, that fencing going up tonight. What else? What else was I asked? No, I'm definitely not doing a shoey. Definitely not. We got... Ye are mental. Like... oh, Ash. Oh, it's dark. That's dark, Ash. That is dark. How are the grips in your GT Neo holding up? Oh. They're fine, but I've made a big mistake. Cuyar, you know the way I raced on Tuesday night? I raced with this thing. Now this thing has metal in it. I made shit of my grips. I don't know if you can see that there. I damaged the grips. This is not normal wear and tear. If we look at what my other hand has done, it's, you know, very, very reasonable. Tiny little marks from intensive use, but here I made shit of it. I haven't done all my filming yet, so I'm gonna have to buy a new one of these. So, well, maybe that'll be a good chance for a giveaway. 155 in the list goes on. Ah, for God's sake, William O, you absolute lunatic! For fuck's sake! What is going on? What is going on? I'm glad I turned off the sound. Jesus Christ. You could tape them with that grip tape. Yeah, I could, but it's not. So I'm reviewing the product, right? I don't want to be showing off the product and how nice it is with like grip tape on it. It makes it look like the product isn't sufficient. I've been trying to kick the shit out of this. I wasn't thinking. All that was in my head was I want to race, and I wore this while using this, and I was kind of resting it on it, and I just made shit of it. It's completely my fault. Just stupid, really stupid. Revved Up Media, take it easy. Before you go, Revved Up Media, and I'm not going anywhere for now because we still have these notifications. We need to have a look at the mess on my floor here, because this is an impressive mess, and I just want to show it as like a waypoint of where the channel has, and bear in mind again that we've given away so much hardware. Check this out. Look at this. Check it out. Shit everywhere. This is mental. Mental. More stuff over there. More stuff over here. This is nuts, like. That's crazy. And then there you are giving feckin' donations on the chat. That's mental. I need a drink. I need a sip of a drink. Sympathy for the mess. Bongo Baggins has become a member. This is nuts. I didn't even know. So this is crazy, right? I didn't even know this many people were watching. That there were that many people to give memberships to. Lawrence Gearsoswa. And again, I want to stress, all this stuff has little or no value to me. Obviously, it's worth something. I want to do good with it. That's why I give it to real race car drivers. That's why I don't sell it. I don't get money for it. I don't want to. Now, I could easily sell it, easily make some money, and I could easily, right off into the sunset with it. But I want to treat a €20 product the same as I treat a €500 product. So to me, they need to have the same amount of value, and one of the things is that I just shouldn't sell them. That's just my own personal opinion. That's the kind of mess I want. Don't see a Simicube active pedal set. No, they've never sent me one for review. My dad won a set, so he'll have them on his, but I won't be reviewing them. I'll be doing a video with them, but it won't be a review. Any seat recommendations? Recliner, please. Could be from a real car too. Diesel, go to a scrapyard. Get a nice passenger seat out of a car or a driver's seat. Get one out of something that's half decent. There are loads of cars with really good seats. Strip out all the electronics and stuff so that it's nice and light. Or hook up the electronics. Put a battery in there. Hook it up to USB ports and get your 12 volt or whatever way you do that. I would say, like, get a seat out of like an RX-7 or something. Even a Mazda MX-5. Anything, really. Out of an old S13, like a 180SX or something. They're cool seats. You're a good man, Charlie Brown. Sell the gear for the 2025 driver fund. Diesel checkout. It would be a hell of an auction, right? Everybody travel from all over the world, and there's an auction. You're only allowed to bid on one item. Imagine. That'd be insane. But if you lose, you're allowed to bid on subsequent items. That'd be cool. What about motion? No plans for getting motion. I don't have the space for it. I don't have the patience for it. Any motion system that I've ever used has just been a little bit wobbly and laggy. So, those pedals, Adam, are never going to see my rig. For sure. For sure. As the chat is hopping. It's just happening. I can't believe these are still going. This is nuts. I'm so glad that the sound is gone. These are... Kevin Lewis gave 10. This is number 9 of 10 of his last batch. And Have I lost count? Yeah, I have lost. No, I think this counter is correct now. So Ryan Becker now is the last of The next thing, Mav gave another Euro tip. Legend. What's the beige thing? Oh, sorry, Simmy. Oh, lads, I'm sorry. Here we go. The Mini Madness poster. Sorry. As if you like Assetto Corsa, I drove these last night. Every Wednesday night. Nick, you legend. Thanks a million for the Euro.
Mav_Nick donated €1.
Yes,
Wink.
boy. If you like minis, if you like Assetto Corsa, lads, it looks good, it drives great. The crack was had. The amount of fun we had last night. I gate crashed the race. It was so much fun. That was round 1, May 29th. June 5th, next Wednesday, Goodwood. Minis at Goodwood. ! Discord, get in there if you like racing. I can't guarantee that I'll be there. I don't know if I will. So, but the community is great crack. I didn't stream it or anything. It's just good fun. Great fun to get out on track. Been using a GT Omega RS6 for years now, and it holds up really well. Nice, still looks new. Excellent, Martin. That's what we like to hear. A couple of singles and then 5 from lads. It's you're nuts. So yeah, get into Discord and join our AC League. As we're here, need to show the iRacing League. Here we go. The Formula Ford Trophy. Formula Ford 1600. The next round is at Road Atlanta Short, then Oulton Park and Motegi East. So that's going to be mighty crack as well. And that was 30-minute race. It was great crack. Let's see, where are we? Back here. What else? So Tristan Stork. That's the first of William O's last 5. And then you need to... That's it, guys. That is the craziest amount of subs on a stream I've ever had, I think. Baz Racing. Legends. I didn't know all these people were even watching. Thanks so much, guys. Is there any truth the new updated version of the Simagic Mini, Alpha Mini, being weaker than previously? Apparently, I don't know. I don't have the new version, so I can't comment on it. But apparently, Lewis, apparently, 200 people. No, because it's gonna just drop off after the month. It's great fun now, guys, but it's gonna go back to like 60 or 70, which is already crazy. What are we saying about AC Evo? Oh man, the only thing that AC Evo needs to survive is a proper marketplace where people can offer mods for free if they want. You can't easily export or rip the mods out of the game. You can build on someone else's mod, so you can modify their work, but they get a cut. So if you want to do a version of a car with a nice spoiler, or you want to do a nice spoiler for a car, that's great. But if it's for a particular car or whatever, I'd love for that ecosystem to all balance out. I'd love the ecosystem to be like based on supply and demand as well, but maybe that's a little bit of a reach. But I would love an ecosystem like that where the mods in game are that you can just buy them in game. The problem is licensing is going to be a big issue, and AC kind of came from a time before that was a big massive concern. So I don't know what way that's going to go, because what's going to happen is AC will put their heart and soul into a mod, and the community will say, well, we can make that better, and then nobody will buy the AC mod anymore unless it's based on the AC mod. Kind of similar with some of the Japanese drift cars. You need to have the Japanese DLC in order to run it. That already happens in AC. Justin Ramey, cheers for the subscription. If it has
Mav_Nick donated €1. Thought he'd round it up to standard €3.
Thanks a million, Mav. AC Evo. If it has no mod support at all, I expect it to have good DLC. I would love for, you know, the way there's like week 13. I would love week 13 in iRacing. I'd love if there were servers where you could just try mod content. The servers were controlled by AC Evo, and where they could invite the modders to say, hey, do you want to be DLC? Do you want to be official DLC? And then they put a DLC pack together. They work with the licensing. You know, if it's a Porsche that's being done, they say, hey, Porsche, we've got these people, blah, 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 blah. And that it all works that way. The modders will then get an official platform where normally they would sell maybe 100 of or 200 or 300, whatever. They have the opportunity to sell 50,000, 100,000. You know, a small slice of a large pie is a lot better than a large slice of a small pie. So I think that that's the way it would need to go if mod content, but it needs to go through official content or official channels. But again, if it was no mod content at all, I think there's a lot of pressure on AC. Yeah, there are modding studios working on it, so that's why I keep going to the first way of pronouncing. Okay, cheers, Louis. I won't. Louis Serfontaine, I think. Serfontaine, I think. What other questions did I have here? 300 was a great movie. Should shoot the moon. Would I ever stream No Hezzy? I've seen it. I think a lot of people stream it. It's not really my style. It's good kind of, you know, mindless entertainment, but I think people get bored of it really quickly. You get the new people, like all you see in the chat on the streams is what game is this? What game is this? And I like this. Look at this level of conversation that we're having right now. I absolutely love it. I love this in-depth conversation. I love that the place is just a shithole of incredible sim racing hardware right now. I think it's amazing. In two minds between going Alpha Mini or Alpha, we have answered this, I think twice already on the stream. If you can afford the Alpha, go for the Alpha. Simple. When we're going to do some Wreckfest, we'll chat about it in the Discord. ! Discord. Closest thing to No Hezzy when we run community event. JDM. Yeah. We can see. Everything's up for discussion. If there is, take it easy, Diesel. Thanks so much. And I need to go to sleep as well, guys. We've got the jazz music was playing there. We need a little bit of tempo here, a little bit of volume, because we need to end this stream. This has been an absolute howl. Look at this shit. Like 155 channel members, 155 paying members. So look at this graphic and add another 50 people onto it, because that's what happened tonight. That's what happened. Absolutely bonkers. Alright guys, I will see you Tuesday. I'm hoping that my hand will be a little bit better and that we'll be able to race on Tuesday. That championship means quite a bit to me as well. So who knows? Who knows? Thank you so much for an interesting stream. Maybe we should do one of these every couple of months. I don't know. We didn't go near wheelbases and pedals, thankfully. Well, we covered some wheelbases. ! March. Actually, that's a good point. Get those Potato Nation cups are selling like hotcakes. ! March. Get in there. The Potato Nation cups are fantastic. If you like a big mug of coffee or tea, get in there. It's brilliant. It's great value as well. There's like €1 or so that goes towards Potato Nation. Really not a lot. But yeah, it's mad. Need a magnifying glass to read the smaller font. Sometimes all you need is a potato. It's one thing to be on here just chatting. I say you lads want to make it happen. Come into Discord, get the convo going. ! Discord. Racetrack on track then. Yeah, sorry, Beckett, we never got around to race. Actually, do you know what? All shit aside, I'm pausing the music here, right? Odds are this is not going to heal super soon. So maybe next week, during the rally stream, maybe at this time, we focus on software. If you guys think that sounds good, give a shout in the chat. We're going to end the stream. Let's go to the end credits. This is going to be wild. This is going to be wild. Let's change the tune. Here we go. I have the same old tunes, like. That's a good tune. I do like this tune. Kimmy, Grim Leaper, Capto, Jeff, Justin, Diesel with the resub. Evan Tate, Martin Pritchard, Adam, Chris, Ross, John, The Long Lad, Ragnar, Chris. These are all new channel members. Motorsport Videos, George J. Over, Mark, Anne, Rocky Mountain, Damian Leonard, XX, Mark, Johnson, Kev D, Jack Wilson, Pringle Joyer, Kevin Bird, Shane Robinson, I don't know why I did one, Kev, Adrian, Neil, Rudy, Jacob, Simu Dad, Sim Racing Wheels, Rebel, Dusty Art, Grandad Sim Racing, Name That New Things, Stella the Cat, Albion, Justin, Ninja Switchblade, IMC, Smetwork, Bondo Baggins, Darren Stringer, Kian Adams, Zane O'Connor, Arshad, Legend K-Man, Ryan Becker, Colin, Owen, Baz Racing, Tristan Stork, Sirhat, Caviar, The Spike Meister, and Mav with the €3 donated. Bonkers. Cat, not impressed. Are you impressed, Splat? Are you impressed? She's impressed. Legends, absolute legends. Thank you so much. See you all on Tuesday for a bit of madness. Yeah, nuts. You're mad. Good luck. Get into Discord, spam those gifts.